All right, so this is the other story that is going to make Trish Ellis into a superstar, and also Joe Ely Carrales the third is going to be a superstar from this. So Trish, talk about how you got involved in this.
Well, this one was actually a surprise. I wasn't expecting to do this one. I had the space octopus squid one that I did, and that was the only one I was expecting to do for your project. And then all of a sudden, I had Tom Powers message me, and he asked. He said, "I have this script. Would you be interested in illustrating it?" And I'm like, "Yeah, this could be fun." I gave the script a read through, and I thought this would be a fun little piece to do, I think. So I said, yeah, I'm going to do that. And then just a little more into the project that more than I thought I'd do. And it was extra exciting. So I got the script and I read it through, and Tom wrote a great script. The script, he was very descriptive for me. First off, I'll say this is one of the first sequentials I've done. Really, I usually do pinup or cover or whatever. I don't normally do sequentials. So getting Tom's script, he had it so neatly laid out and it's so clear that I was like, this was a breeze. It was a breeze to go through it. So it was just like bing, bang, boom. I just had to put the drawings into his thing. And as if for fun, you can see there, Mr. Joe Carrales is whistling a merry tune, taking his character Nico out for a little walk. I thought it'd be a fun little add-in.
So
But yeah,
this is a collaboration between you, Tom Powers, and Amanda Powers. Amanda Stella
yes,
Powers came in and did the coloring, and she did this funky wallpaper with the
yeah.
skulls. And Joe Joe was kind of shepherding this project along, and you stuck him in the window out there walking his dog. Now you were thinking at one point of using Salvador Dali.
I was, and
explain
then I was worried about the
explain
whole.
that to me.
Well, it was just the whole theme of the story was because it was all kind of psychedelic and kind of an LSD induced story, like the main character Paul. So that's how his story ideas, as it was explained to me, it was kind of a drug induced or LSD, whatever induced story. So I thought, well, put something weird in the background. And that's when I thought of Salvador Dali, just because, well, his stuff is weird with the whole melting look and everything. But then I started thinking, is there going to be copyright issues? Is there going to be anything like that? And I don't even want to go near anything like that. So then I thought, well, I'm going to pay tribute to the fellow that brought me onto the project or helped bring me into the project. So I'm going to stick Joe right in there.
Well, now I should probably so this is Joe Ely in the background. I wanted to start by saying that these are my characters:
Yes.
Gower Goose and Paul Nabisco,
Yeah.
and Doctor Ugg. Dr. Underground is the narrator, which is we were kind of going for the old EC House of Crypt of Terror, the different ghoulish hosts. So Dr. Ugg is the narrator. We have Ted Sikora doing the lettering. Paul is a writer he's the comic book writer who created Gower Goose. And so we never quite know if Paul is just hallucinating his comic book stories and therefore the adventures of Gower Goose, or if this is real. And
And
Paul was kind of my interpretation of Steve Gerber and Howard the Duck, and with a little bit of Alan Moore mixed in. He actually looks a little more like Alan Moore. Where did the pizza come from?
it was
Who?
just, I was just thinking when I was drawing it, I said, when I was told about his penchant for maybe not being the most lucid at all times. I said, everyone has the munchies. And I said, if that's the case, I was going to put a bunch of junk food around and half eaten this and half eaten that. And I thought
Well,
it would
see now,
with dead plants in the background just from not taking care of things. And then I found with Amanda, she came in with her colors and just added that extra je ne sais quoi to make it pop with the whole psychedelic theme, right? That I felt the story was going for.
yeah, she did a great job.
Yeah.
Now, I remember getting an urgent message from Joe at like 3 in the morning about this window. Like Trisha's got this giant window in the center of the panel, and she's got to fill it with Salvador Dali. And I said, well, why did she put a giant window in the middle of the panel? Just here's a tip: just zoom in on the characters and leave enough room for the word balloons. But you went into this whole interior decoration, and you got the furniture and what's he's got a hat hanging on the end of the sofa. I just noticed that, and a potted plant. You really
In the previous page, you'll even see his underwear hanging over the top back of the couch of the sofa.
Oh, I hadn't noticed that. See all these.
And I think with me, it's just I like putting in all these little extra details that if you notice it, great. If you don't, whatever. But I found putting in those extra details was just fun, and I wanted fun stuff in the background, not just I didn't want just a background with nothing going on, nothing to look at. I wanted something that if you like looking at the details, if you like looking beyond things, that there's going to be something to look at. So that's basically what I was thinking of when I was doing the backgrounds. Now, some things like this one here, I say, well, didn't need any background. The whole boom of the birth of the character was enough. It didn't need background distractions. But the big picture window, the whole idea was I wanted a little bit of something in the background that people could just eye candy, basically, just something to look for. Maybe not eye candy like a hunky, guy walking by with no shirt or a hunky chick walking by, whatever. But I just wanted something interesting in the
Well,
background.
now this begs the question: what were you smoking when you?
I'm just high on life naturally, so it worked for me.
So oh, I'm sorry, I'm switching pages here. Let's look at Jerry Gander here. Now, you actually you're the first person to draw this character. This is an original character, and it's kind of the female version of Gower Goose. Her name is Jerry Gander. So I think I might have suggested the bow tie or the bow in the hair.
You did. You suggested a few things, and I just kind of expanded on it.
So what's so there? This is one of the more overtly political cartoons in the project. What can you summarize what we were going for here?
I think the gist of
You're speaking as a Canadian.
Yeah, and so
Looking at our wonderful American democracy, which is working so well.
So this was before your current president got voted in, and it was just everything was building up to it, and kind of the theatrics going on with it, and the drama, and just everything going on. And when Tom came up with this story, I just felt I think it was a bit of a needle, into the whole process, because it just seemed so far-fetched and a little on the crazy side. So I think he just kind of wanted to capture the whole craziness, I guess is the best word I could use for it, is the
I think Ted Sikora's lettering really adds a lot to it. too.
I
I mean,
agree. The lettering is beautiful. I love it.
he has a way of he finds the right spots.
Yep.
He finds the right spots to put the lettering, and he knows how to accent things. And
I was just
he's
going to say that he has all those accents and the bigger font when it's needed and the bold and the oh no, he did it perfectly. It's awesome.
I'll tell you my reaction to this when I started seeing your inks is that two of the scruffiest characters I have are Paul Nabisco and Gower Goose. And I thought, boy, we are completely wasting the fine talents of Trish Ellis, who is delineating every hair follicle and every wrinkle so lovingly. This is like an Art Nouveau kind of illustration, and I was like, oh, it should just be an editorial cartoon. Just hack it out, scratch it out with a crow quill pen, very scruffy. But you did such a beautiful job delineating everything, and you researched the Oval Office and all of the drapery and so forth. What a waste of your talent.
Well, you know, you could look at it that way, but it also, I think, it just made that the story that much more and these characters that much more. Seeing these characters maybe in a light that you may never have thought of putting them into.
And you know how to draw the shape of an egg, which is
Well,
amazing.
I have chickens and I collect their eggs every morning. So,
Wow.
so yeah, I kind of got used to that. Except my chickens are a little special. They lay like a red egg and green eggs and white eggs. So,
Wow. Well, thank you for talking us through your story. So you have a total of 5 pages, and it's a real bonus to the project. Is there anything else you want to add, Joe?
Like I said, like you said, it's beautiful work. I'm glad that Trish got this out. I think people are going to take notice of it.
Do you want to show her? You want to show her her covers on your comics again?
Oh yes.
No, we're offering. I think we're offering these as an add-on too, right?
Yes. This was this was a crossover with another person's work, Ryan Howitt, and with the Improbable Girl and the Wonder Kitty. This was book number 10. And then there was number 11. Let me get a little bit further back here so y'all can see them.
I'm holding it up too so they get double like stereo in stereo.
And then we completed the story over in this one. As you can see, she does a lot of detail in her work, and yeah, the emotional nature of a scene like this with the background characters, it's like it's a feast for the eyes. And I like that. I support that. I'm a big believer in looking for Easter eggs and whatnot.
Who did that?
Backgrounds.
Who did that amazing logo that you have on the cover?
Oh,
I heard it was just some guy he picked up on the side of the road. Eh?
no, he was. It wasn't the side of the road. It was a railroad yard.
Oh, there you go. There you go.
Pennsylvania Railroad, Penn Central Station. Yeah, and so like I said, she did excellent cover work, and now we can see that her sequentials are awesome. And like I said, I think that we need to be watching out for this one, Don. She's going places.
Steve, what do you have any remarks you'd like to add as an impartial observer who's being paid?
Who's being paid to say nice things?
I think it's wonderful work, Trish, and I was really the first picture, the Jungle Girl and out in outer space. It reminded me a little bit of this sort of theme that sometimes happens in comics. If anyone remembers the Nick Fury cover by Steranko, where Nick is out in outer space and Earth is kind of exploding behind him, or there was a Frazetta cover for Fantastic Funnies number something, where again they were out in space fighting like this, and I thought, well, you're part of a grand tradition there of improbable space scenarios of people out fighting and flying and doing strange things in outer space. As for the comic, I just thought it was beautiful. I mean, it was funny and odd and interesting, but it's also just so beautiful. Your work is really amazing. I'm looking forward to seeing more.
Thank you. I
Yeah,
appreciate that.
yeah.
So where can we find you on the internet, Trish? Where can everyone get your comics?
Well, right now my comic, like Joe had mentioned earlier, was one I'm just started working on. It's Bomber Babe, and you'll be able to find her eventually. But right now I'm just putting out little pieces here and there, nothing concrete. I mean, the character, yes, is concrete, but the location, I just have my personal website or personal web Facebook page, which is just, you can find me at Trish Ellis Art, and anything new I have, I'll post it there, and then you'll find me. I'm on a couple little art groups, and I'll post them around there too. But for the most part, I don't have a page yet for my stuff because it's still in development, still a lot to do with it. But she'll be coming and making an appearance. Oh, I guess I have Instagram too. Silly me. I have an Instagram too. Hey, surprise.
That's a big one. That's a big one.
Yeah, that's a big one. How I forgot that. I don't know. I think it's the cold, just like brain freeze or something. But Instagram is Trish Ellis Art again. Keeping it all the same, so you'll be able to find me across the platforms. I just started a Blue Sky account, and it's the same thing, Trish Ellis Art. But that one, I'm just getting that one going, just kind of getting a feel for that one to see what it's like. But mostly you're going to find me on Instagram and Facebook.
Perfect. Thank you.
Well, thank you guys. I really appreciate the opportunity to help out with the Multimensions project and to work with such great people. This has been a thrill. It's really been great. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Trish.
Thank you.
Thank you, Don.